Hello, leaders. I want to take a brief moment to talk about how to have a great Advent. I think when we head into these seasons like Advent or Lent in the church calendar, we can have great intentions to spend time with the Lord, to serve others, to do things to really enrich our spiritual growth, and yet our mind is filled with noisy distractions and our schedule fills up with many, many different activities, and it crowds out time for the most important things. So, how do we reclaim time for silence, for solitude, for reflection, and for enjoyment of God, and also helping and serving others? I want to give three suggestions to you. Number one, consider limiting your news intake to only 30 minutes a day. I got this tip from tech writer Cal Newport, and I think it's a great idea. We are not breaking news services ourselves, and so we don't need to consume breaking news. Oftentimes, I think the reason why our mind gets so noisy and crowded is because we just have information overload. And when we're constantly watching the news or checking news sites and intaking information all the time of what's going on in the world, it can crowd out space to think and reflect deeply about who God is and think and reflect deeply about how we can help other people. And so, one way to cull the distractions, to eliminate them, is to just reduce your news intake to 30 minutes a day. Maybe that's going the old school route and subscribing to an actual physical newspaper that you can read through, and it's contained to a certain time, maybe reading over breakfast or something like that. Or maybe you will subscribe to a news podcast, and usually they have these roundup podcasts for like 20, 30 minutes. You can get all the lead stories, and we really don't need much more than that to really know what's going on. So consider limiting your news intake to 30 minutes a day. Number two, consider, how am I going to serve this Advent, and who am I going to serve? Look around for different opportunities in your spheres of influence. Maybe it's in your family or in your community group here at LBC. Maybe it's stepping back into serving in the ministry game again, in a sense. Maybe for you, though, there's a local nonprofit that you could spend some time serving others. Who will you invest in, and how you will invest that time? Consider maybe carving out an hour or two a week to serve other people. And finally, I think one kind of under the radar way to have a great Advent is to exercise. God has given us a body as a gift, and we need to steward that gift. And I think Christmas time, it's so easy to overeat, right? It's so easy we're eating more cookies and treats and sweets and just increasing our sugar intake, and that's not good for us. So we want to balance, celebrating the season and enjoying all these great foods that we have with taking care of our bodies, and staying active, moving, exercising can be really helpful for that and can really increase our spiritual vitality because we're able to have more energy and we can think more clearly, and we can devote this time to contemplating God and serving others. So I hope you find these things helpful. Maybe there's something in there that you'll try this Advent, and I'd love to hear about it, what you've tried, and maybe that can be an encouragement to someone else. Keep up the great work. We love pastoring you here at the church. I consider it a huge privilege that you are leaders here in LBC, and I hope that you have a great Advent and a Merry Christmas.